The most important thing to know about layoffs is communication. Human beings have this funny thing where when we don't know what's going on, we fill it in with the most terrifying, scary thing we possibly can. And in a layoff situation, you really don't want panic to overtake your company. There was a CEO who was doing layoffs, and he realized there are two audiences. There's the audience of people being laid off, and there's also the audience of people who are staying, who are going to watch the layoffs and are going to draw some conclusions based upon how you handle the layoffs with the people who are being laid off. Here's what he did. Every person who was going to be, well, first of all, at the beginning of the day, he called the entire company together and said, we're going to be having layoffs. Please go back to your desk and you'll be visited and find out what your situation is. Every person who was being laid off was visited by their manager and by their manager's manager and given an opportunity to be told face-to-face exactly what was going on with them in their situation. They were also read a letter by the CEO, so they knew everything about what was happening. They were then escorted from the building. It was done with a tremendous amount of grace and dignity for the people. The people who were kept on were then called together once everybody had been escorted out, and it was explained to them that these are the people who are going to be here. They were given the rest of the day off to go and kind of recover. Once they had left, the people who had been laid off were called back one by one and met individually with the CEO so that he could answer their questions, give them a shoulder to cry on, and a place to vent emotionally and kind of work through a little bit of what they needed to work through. And then, of course, they were given outplacement and moved on. Once the next day came around, the entire company was assembled, and the CEO outlined with full disclosure, here are the financials of the company. Now that we've done the layoffs, here's the new cost structure, and here's how much time we've bought for the survival of the company by having these layoffs. By doing that, everyone understood what the need had been, and they also understood that they weren't in any immediate danger themselves and could once again refocus on the job and know that they were all in it together. If he hadn't done the communication job and hadn't kept everybody clearly apprised at every step of the way, people would have gotten highly emotional and irrational, and it wouldn't have gone that smoothly. So with layoffs, the key is communication, 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 and respect for everyone's dignity as a human being and their need to know what's going on and how they're going to be treated.